Hey guys, what's going on? It is Dangeles, and welcome back to a brand new video. And guys, today is going to be the 2017 installment of Top 5 Favorite Houses. This is an annual series that we do, where every year I come back towards the end of the year, late November, December, and I record my top 5 favorite houses of the year that I built for that particular year. So we're doing it again for 2017. We've been doing this series for quite a few years now, I think since 2014. So this, I believe, is the 4th installment. So love to do this series every year. It's always a video I look forward to. So we're going to get started. A couple things to note before I get into the top 5 countdown. I didn't take anything from the Fantasy Village for this countdown. Decided to keep it as a separate entity. Also, you're not going to be seeing any of the Danville upgrade videos on this countdown either. I know that was like a lot of the houses that I built this year was the Danville upgrades. I'm going to be doing a separate video for the Danville upgrades as a part of my 5-year anniversary for the start of Danville, which is coming up very soon, which is crazy to me. So we're going to be doing that as a separate video, so you won't be seeing any Village or Danville in this countdown. But that doesn't make it any worse of a list, because we built a lot of houses this year. Actually, I built way more houses in 2017 than I did in 2016. So it's a pretty good list this year. I'm excited to share it with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started with number 5. Coming in at number 5, we have the upgrade of my first ever Minecraft house. So I said I wasn't covering Danville upgrades. That doesn't mean I wasn't covering upgrades in general. So throughout the Danville upgrade series, I stopped that for a second, and I actually remade a house from a different world, my first ever Minecraft world with my first ever house. So this is actually probably my favorite upgrade I did, even if you count the Danville ones in there. Just actually love the way this one turned out. It's kind of like loosely based off Falling Water, the famous house from Pennsylvania. And my favorite parts about this one was the fact that I didn't really replace the house, kind of like I do in Danville, like I, replace it on the plot where it was originally built. And this one, I just built it right next to the original, and I really like being able to compare and contrast from like my old build from 2012 to the one that I built in 2017. It's just a lot of fun. And obviously it holds a special place in my heart, obviously being the first house that I ever built. Although the first one is pretty silly looking, I think the second one, the upgrade for it, is actually a pretty cool looking modern house. I like the way it's built into the land. It's kind of like perched up on top of this hill right up against the edge of the ocean. And again, it looks a lot like Falling Water. In some aspects, obviously some of it is it looks nothing like it, but there were parts of it, including the front area, where is my favorite part of the builds, where you have the big glass wall that kind of shows into the house, and you can see different rooms on each floor. So you got the lower level, which is a bedroom, and then you have the kitchen in the middle, and then you have another bedroom on the top, and you can kind of all see that from one window, and I think that was a really cool feature. So that's why it comes in at number 5 on the list. We have my first ever Minecraft house revamp, and we're going to move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is my server traditional house, and this was actually the first house that I built on my Twitch subscriber server. And this house is just really solid. It's just a pretty standard traditional style house. One of the things I love about this house is that I built it in the Soartex Fanfare texture pack on PC. It was actually the first time that I used that texture pack. It's a pretty popular one, but I had never had a chance to use before, and I really, really like that texture pack. It's definitely one of my favorites now. Just a really solid pack, and it was definitely refreshing to build in a different pack and use some different textures for this build. I had a lot of fun with it. A couple other things I really like about this house is the symmetrical windows on the front. I think that looked pretty solid. Also, I kind of built the house on like the side of a slope, so it's not really like a standard super flat build, like you'll see with a couple of the other builds that are coming up on this list. Spoiler alert. But it's a relatively flat space that it is built on, but still tried to use the slope a little bit, so there was a connection to the basement from the back of the house. And overall, I think it's just a really solid house that definitely deserved to be on the countdown, and that's why it comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have my Tudor style house Let's Build on Xbox One. Tudor style houses are some of my favorite architectural styles to recreate in Minecraft, and I think this is actually my favorite Tudor style house that I've ever built. It's one of 3, 2 of them also being on Dangeles. And of the 3, I think this is definitely my favorite. We built this one as a Let's Build series. Really like the block choice on this one. We were able to use some dark oak wood as the roof and as the logs, and also combine it with the bricks. It's just a really nice combination of colors. And I think this house was definitely deserving of a spot on the list, so I put it at number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have my green traditional house Let's Build on Xbox One. And this one we actually used the city texture pack for the build as opposed to the default texture pack for the Tudor style house. And it was a really close call between this one and the Tudor style house in terms of which one to put at number 2 and which one to put at number 3. I ultimately chose this one as 2 just because it had the landscape a little bit more built out, a little bit more detailed. There's also a couple of other features that I thought were unique about it that I really liked, and that includes the roof design. We didn't go with our traditional stair roof. We actually went with full blocks, and that allowed us to use a different color, which was one of the concrete blocks from one of the recent updates when I was doing this Let's Build. And overall, I think it's just a complete house, a little bit larger than the Tudor style house, so that also gave it a few more brownie points. And definitely one of my favorite houses of the year, which is why it comes in at number 2. And finally, coming in at number 1 on my top 5 favorite houses of 2017 countdown is the modern concept house from my Twitch subscriber server. And this one was pretty easy to choose at number 1, not because it's better or worse than like any of the other houses on this list, just because it's so different, it's so unique in terms of like the design of it. Something that I've really never done before. It just, you can't compare this to any other build that I've done. And it's definitely an interesting spin on like the modern style because you can really get creative with modern houses. And my favorite part about this build, without a doubt, is the sides, where I kind of built the slanted edge with the stairs and slab blocks with the sandstone. And it's just something that I think looks really unique and cool. Definitely something that catches my eye, and it's definitely like the house I remember the most building, and definitely the house I had the most fun building throughout the year, which is why it comes in at number 1. Definitely bizarre looking build, but it's a concept house, and I thought it turned out really, really cool for the idea. So that's why it comes in at number 1. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up my top 5 favorite houses of 2017 countdown. Thank you guys for tuning in. Drop a comment down below what your favorite house of mine was from this year, if it was one on this list, or maybe it was one that was not on the list, but I'm pretty sure I covered most of the houses I built this year of note. So again guys, I appreciate you watching. Drop a like on the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.